Happy Canada Day, lacrosse friends. We are here in Canada's original capital, Kingston, Ontario, at the Slush Puppie Place for Day 3 of the 2025 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship. I'm Stephen Stamp. He's Brian Shanahan, and we're going to get Canada on the floor later in Canada Day against Australia, our Canadian friends from down under, basically. But we're going to start tonight with a rematch of a huge game from last year, Scottish Thistles against the United States. Last year, the U.S. were the reigning gold medal champions, Shanny. They came into that game against the Thistles, seeing it as a bit of a step along the road to trying to retain that championship. Mm-hmm. Instead, it became a huge road bump, a game that the Scots won 16-15, and there are a lot of players back this year who were in that game, and they remember. You can see all of those players for the U.S. You can see the players, a bunch for Scotland, for the Scottish Thistles as well. That game, Paul Ruskowski, had 6 points, 3 goals and 3 assists for the Scots. Then Griffin Bartos and some other guys that aren't back had some big games. Ben Posick, we've become big fans. He had 3 goals, 4 assists. Ian Wick, 4 and 2. Raphael Katz, 3 and 2. Aidan Malone played half the game. In net, Jarrett Jaywar played the whole game. It was a crazy game. After the first quarter, the Thistles led 5-3. Both teams scored 5 goals in the second. It's 10-8 for the Thistles. They're up 13-12. Then it's tied 13-13. It's tied 14-14. The U.S. take their first lead at 15-14. The Thistles tie it up. And then about a minute and a half or 2 minutes to go, Braden Stearns, who is one of the returning players, scores what proves to be the game-winning goal. That denied the U.S. a chance to go back to the championship. The Scottish Thistles win a silver medal. The U.S. went to the bronze medal game. They do not intend to let that happen again this year, but it was pretty exciting stuff, and these guys are aware of it. And one of the key factors, I think, for the U.S. is a guy that we were pretty excited about yesterday.
Yeah, Posick. Posick had 10 points yesterday, 4 goals, 6 assists, and throughout this tournament he's got 7 goals, 8 assists, and yeah, he's just been one of the most impressive. Well, of course, it's him and McNamara have been great, but yesterday Posick really did shine. And it's funny too, because I said to you yesterday, I said the U.S. has got to be favored in this game. I know Scotland played well, but the U.S. should take it. And you quickly reminded me about last year how the U.S. was favored. So, yeah, in a big game when you get up for it, anything can happen. And I agree with it. I'm sure that is the top of the minds of the U.S. players and those Scotland players who are returning to say, hey, remember what we did last year, guys.
For sure. And I think, Aidan Malone, who played net in that game for the U.S. for half the game, he's going to remember it. And it's a big deal for these American guys. Now, if they lose this game, can they still get to the championship? Yeah, I mean, they're going to be in a semi because there's 4 teams here this year. Last year, it was a round robin straight to the final. So it was a little different.
Yeah.
But I don't think that matters a whit to the Scots. Let's take a look at it.
Both teams, they want to win this game. And one of the new guys who's in Scotland has really impressed us. And Andrew Baumley, 5'7", not a big guy, but he was a relentless checker out there yesterday. But then not only was he a good defensive checker, he scores a beautiful shorthanded goal. And this game was a lot closer than we maybe expected early on. And at one point it was within a goal, I think, late in the game. I think Scotland pulled away a bit later on. But that was a great game, and Bomley, all 5'7" of them. He's an intense player out there. I loved watching him.
And the intensity was the big thing, right? You're talking about there's one sequence down in the corner where he was absolutely just would not be stopped. Stripped the ball, got possession. He will go after it until they have possession or die trying, pretty much.
Yeah,
and you got to love that.
You know, there was a hockey player, Pat Verbeek, they called him a little ball of hate. Yeah. And that's who I was thinking of when I was watching Bomley.
The U.S. has their own little ball of hate, and the gritty beauty, Declan Landers, their captain. Scottish Thistles have a bunch of guys who are going to try and get another win this year. We're going to watch what happens on the floor at the 2025 IIJL World Juniors right after this. It's about to start. So Scotland, the Scottish Thistles are ready to roll. They are out waiting. Bomley is at center. And they are excited to get this going. They do have a new player, a player who was just able to join them today. That is Cohen Vishu. They are missing, however, William Lugo, who went out. They also lost about 5 players to injuries last week before the tournament. So they have been trying to patch things together. They're playing pretty well. But this will be.
They had a short bench yesterday. I think they had 14 runners.
Bunch of guys injured and trying to get people in. They also, unfortunately for the Millar family, and we send our condolences out to them, Owen and Jack, who would have been on this team, their grandmother died, and they're actually at the funeral today. So obviously we wish the best to them, and that's a tough one for kids and for the whole family. But the U.S. has first possession here, and we'll see what they can create of it. Here's Rafael Katz, mentioned he had a big game last year against the Scots, and there goes a helmet for Adelino. Comes flying off. He's going to pop it back on. You can do that.
Yeah, I don't think the U.S. team realized that they were Scotland was essentially playing shorthanded for about 20 seconds, and McNamara was the guy who was wide open.
Scots have their first chance. Here's Benoit. Flips it up top. Stearns moves on again. Stearns with the game winner last year. Here's a rip from the outside. That was Nate Lewis. Stopped by Aidan Malone, starting between the pipes for the U.S. At the other end, as always, Jarrett Jaywar for the Thistles. Here's Nicholas Elam. Actually handed it there to Wick. Ian Wick is going to look to the righties as the U.S. just gets their 5th attacker out. They're down to 6 on the shot clock. The one-in camera has stopped working momentarily. Now it's back in sync. That happens occasionally. The refs did a nice job staying on top of that. Here come the Thistles into the offensive zone. That's Bomley leading the way.
And have we seen Rosowski on the floor yet?
Rosowski is just walking on the floor, about to take that pass. Wow, that was nice, Shanny. You gave him an entrance.
5 goals, 4 assists yesterday. He was the most dangerous guy for Scotland.
He was dynamite. That will be no call. But it's going to be tapped there by Chayton Pazienza, but the 30 expires on the Scots, and the U.S. are going to see if they can get something rolling, which so far they really haven't been able to do, but you know it's coming. Posick over on the far side, flings it into the corner. Here comes Tyler Sebastian. Driving underneath, wide open lane, crease violation, he nailed it. I was just going to say the toes on the line. Great drive by Posick, but that was a good call.
Yeah, nice dive or jump and a fake and a jump, but I guess his toe, we're going to see it here. If he touches on takeoff, yeah, 100%. Looks like he did.
Nice pass. Good job by Lewis getting out of pressure. They get it to Ruskowski, who gets flattened. You think the Americans are aware that he's the dangerous guy?
Oh, they've got to be.
Here's Maverick Schultz passing the ball ahead. Gets it up to Bowden Bound, who immediately moves it on. And Jack Cornwell will slow things down a little. We just saw Maverick Schultz playing. At the other end, you've got Hudson Schultz. He's number 2. Not out there at the moment, but he'll be out there for the next defensive shift. They are brothers. And we had a chat with them. We'll hear from both the brothers, one in each of the breaks between the first and second quarter and the third and fourth quarter. Had a chat with them at practice this morning. You can discover the secret of which brother the parents are cheering for. Which sibling do you cheer for, Shanny, when it's Seamus against Devlin? I mean, Brenna doesn't have to play against her brothers, right?
No, but my kids have played against Brenna's boyfriend. It's essentially a brother-in-law.
Right.
I go for my kid.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the in-law is a slight difference, though, right? In Scotland, Scottish Thistles get it back. Running out is Mitch Carrick. He'll pass that one off. Keep your eyes on Carrick. That is Hudson Schultz handing the ball there. The younger Schultz. Carrick is a burner. He can really get up the floor. Here's Benoit sporting a bit of a fresh scar on his nose from yesterday when his helmet slid around. Nice job by Bounds to jump in there and pick up Lewis. A rip from the outside. That was Austin Maybe, who had a big game yesterday. But again, Aiden Malone is sharp. Benoit just went to the concrete and he said, hey, we listened to your broadcast. It is actually kind of slippery. He said, we need to have it, we'd like to have the floor swept every quarter. Because,
really?
Yeah, it does get a little bit slick for them. Here's a great chance, but J-War makes himself big, which he was doing over the last year, apparently growing 3 inches. Did you see that behind the play there?
No.
He just whacked Nicholas Elam in the legs or stomach area as he was heading
to
back.
watch more of that.
Yeah, it could pick things up. Here's Benoit. Tries to battle through, flips it over there. Multiple spins, not really getting Cohen Vichu anywhere. Now that's
some good defense by the U.S. Charles Gormson all over the Scottish player.
Gormson is one that the U.S. coaches are saying keep your eye on. He's a pretty new box player, but he's a big kid, very strong, and they have high hopes for him as the road progresses. Here's Posick again, and if you're wondering if we're pronouncing it differently, we are. We actually ran into Ben at the restaurant last night. Here's a drive to the net by McNamara. Big save, J-War, with just enough help from Ethan Urbanski. But I heard somebody say Ben. I said, do you prefer Ben or Benjamin? He said, Ben's better. Everything's fine.
Ben's better, but get my last name right, too?
He was fine. Because we'd been saying Pusak, and we were wrong. It's Posick. So sorry about that to the Posick clan if you're watching, listening. But we're on it. Here's Ruskowski. That's Ruskowski.
No W.
No W. And that one gets away from him. It almost becomes a perfect pass to the far side as Vichu was just waiting there. Brayden Kuzma takes his time, flips it ahead, taking off his cats. He was seriously thinking about that shot, I think. I'm not sure they would have loved it, but boy, if the lane hadn't closed down, he may well have gone. Look how far they're spread out, Shane.
We've almost played half a period with not a goal. It would have been. It was 3-0 or 4-0 for the U.S. against Canada by this time.
Oh, Shanny. Jared J-War is just saying, come on.
Yeah. Tyler Sebastian, he had a hat trick yesterday. All his goals yesterday were outside shots. This time he just makes his way inside, a little fake just to get a step on the defender. Oh. And then a nice shot. He got around Hudson Schultz, his teammate's brother.
That makes it 1-0, first goal of the game. It's fun getting to meet a bunch of these players. They're great kids. You can tell they're having fun. And we met Tyler Sebastian last night because we were sitting at the restaurant for the late snack that we got.
Which one was Tyler?
He was the tall blonde one.
Okay.
Who was saying, who was trying to convince the hostess to let them in and get some food because he said, hey, we just beat Canada in the World Juniors for the first time ever. And I said, it wasn't the first time, Tyler. I didn't say Tyler. I didn't know who he was yet. And he said, oh, because the U.S. did beat Canada 2 years ago in the gold medal game.
That's right.
That was the first time. They've actually done quite well in the U18s and U16s, but in the now U21, formerly U20 World Juniors, that was a first. Last night was a second. They are definitely hoping they'll get a third on Friday night. That game will be at 8 p.m., the gold medal game. We'll see who gets there.
Yeah, there's no guarantee it's Canada either.
No, that shot goes a little bit wide. It will be reset.
Anybody.
No, the semifinals will be Thursday, 5 p.m. will be, I believe, the 1 versus 4, and then 8 p.m. Oh, no, I think 5 p.m. I don't know, actually. That's a good point.
So far, I think it's been 5 and 8.
Yeah, it'll be 5 and 8. I'm just trying to think whether it's 1 and 4.
Oh, I see.
Or 2 and 3 early. Either way, Lewis is driving towards the net. Boy, Bowden Bounds is having himself a solid start to this game. Haven't honestly noticed him that much before today, but boy. Oh, that was Carson Forney. Sorry. Sorry, Bowden. Bowden's actually been playing well today too, but that was Carson Forney, who's a veteran of this club, playing out in New Westminster with the Salmon Bellies. So a handful of these players playing in the BCJLL, and they're loving that. And that is, I mean, there are guys who have been in this tournament, like Ryan Colsey 2 years ago, key component of that gold medal team, playing for Coquitlam, won a Minto Cup last year.
Well, you know, we've even talked to, you know, a couple of U.S. kids that you mentioned were in the restaurant last night. And we're talking about coming up to Canada. It's been working very well for a few U.S. players.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Joyce Polina, C.J. Kirst, some of the most recent examples who has really worked for.
And, you know, it helps their field game, but both of those guys will probably be #1 picks in the NLL, National Lacrosse League drafts coming probably the next 2 years. I wouldn't be surprised if it's C.J. Kirst and then Spalina. Yeah,
I think Kirst will be first this year, most likely. Next year, Finn Thompson's in that draft too.
Oh, he's in there too.
Yeah, I'm a Finn Thompson guy, but Spalina, it could be either one. We'll see how the next year or so goes.
Believe me, I'm a Finn Thompson fan too, a Mimical boy.
Of course you are.
That's the other Thompson brothers.
He's really something. He's having a great season this year with the Brampton Excelsiors in Senior A in the Major Series Lacrosse. There's Benoit with the pass across, gets away from Bichou. Knocked loose, couldn't come up with it. No possession, so it's not a back end. Malone doesn't know where to go with it. He'll make the short pass. And Landers, great try to get to Posick. Snagged there by Ethan Urbanski. Urbanski just avoids the back end.
Oh, he got away with it.
He did get away with it. Is that not over back?
Pretty close on the line. So
I mean, he didn't have possession, I guess, over center. So yeah, that's fine. Why are we so quick to judge? Like, why are we saying it's okay? Here's Stearns trying to fight through. There's Forney once again. Diving dunk attempt. And that is a heck of a takedown by Carson Forney. Saved by Aiden Malone on that shot by Benoit. He doesn't know where it is.
No, Malone's looking behind him just in case.
Did Charles Gormson just pick that up with his hand and put it in his stick? I thought he might have.
I didn't notice.
When play's blown down, can you do that? It didn't even occur to me. Like, why would you pick it? Oh, well. There's a perfectly good basket on your stick for that.
That's the one rule.
Right?
Don't use your hands.
But yeah, when play's dead, I suppose you can. It just seems so close to being live.
When I teach
lacrosse, here's a chance down the floor to Bomley, but they're going to miss that one. When you teach lacrosse.
When I teach lacrosse to kids at school, elementary school, I always tell them, show them a lot of things you can do.
Yeah.
Not for the kids, but in real lacrosse. And I said, the only thing you can't do, don't ever touch the ball with your hands.
Right.
Do not bend down and pick it up with your hands.
No.
Because that's a first instinct for a lot of little kids.
Right.
They'll pick up the ball and put it in their stick.
There's a penalty coming. That might be another one. Yeah, we're going to have two, actually. That late one, absolutely leveling Bichou. Oh, my.
I think he might legitimately be hurt. I thought he was embellishing, but they're concerned.
Yeah.
And that was Nick Schaller taking those two penalties. I'm not sure who it is that's down.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the play. Yeah. Hope he's all right. We're going to.
Did you see who it was?
No, I'm not going to speculate while we're not sure. I mean, I think I have an idea, but okay. So he's moving his hands. That's good. Really dropped when he took that hit. Shannon, let's take another peek at what happened. We'll see the first penalty and then the second.
All right. I believe it was Schaller who took both penalties. Look kind of in the middle of your screen or the right side. Okay. Okay, it was a stick to the head.
Yeah.
And it was a retaliation. Like, I think it was one play. Now, I wasn't really paying attention to the number. Did you pay attention to the number of the Scottish player? He kind of threw
really.
a heavy pick, like
Yeah.
a cross check to the back, and Schaller turned around, high stick to the head area.
So the initial slash, was that Schaller as well? It was, right?
I think it was just one slash, at least on the replay. Yeah, watching live with you, I thought I saw two things, but
I thought I saw the hand up from the ref already before that one, but yeah, let's take another peek from a bit tighter angle just to see.
So watch, the Scottish player comes up with a very aggressive pick, and Schaller reacts, just turns and slashes.
Hang on, we just don't have it up yet. Here we go.
Okay, that was a bit. Yeah, honestly, I thought the Scottish player potentially earned a penalty himself. He did a cross check to the hips and a bit of a high stick. I can't see if that's 18 or 16.
Yeah, I think that's 18, Cohen Vichu, the new addition.
Well, welcome to the tournament.
Yeah, oh my goodness. And he'd been quite active already in the tournament, right? I mean, he'd been playing a pretty big role for them in the offense. They're really, I think, enjoying having him now. Obviously, he's not going to be playing right now. But it's good that he's up. He's been moving. So yeah, anytime there's a shot to the head, you have concerns. Now, I believe in all that, I saw Nick Schaller being escorted out of the rink. We'll see what the penalty appears as. Nice round from everyone for Vichu. He is up and walking under his own power, of course, which is great. Really happy to see that for him.
And they haven't put the penalty up, but you're going to assume that it's probably a 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a, so you were right. Austin Maybe was actually given a high sticking major for the Scots. And then Schaller got a roughing major, and Schaller was given a 10-minute unsportsmanlike conduct, game misconduct. So Schaller is out.
Although I thought it was Vichu that gave the original.
I think it was. I think that's just
check to the hip.
Yeah, because Austin Maybe's still down there. He's number 19 with the ball actually near center there,
so
with the yellow head on his stick. So I think that was just an error in the reporting by the officials. So frankly, understandable at the moment. Head coach Jack Spallone is heading down to the locker room as well, so he'll leave the team in the hand of Brett Capps and Paul Hayes.
And I think we're playing 5-on-5 to start.
Yeah, because they each got a major. So, and because Vichu got a major first, they actually have to put somebody into the box to serve that for him. So it's 1-0 again. First game of the evening tonight. Later at 8 p.m. we will have Canada and Australia here on Canada Day on Christmas in July from Canada's original capital, Kingston, Ontario. And we're back underway with Nate Lewis feeding across to Stearns. He's got maybe down in the corner. He's going to fight to the middle instead. Still hanging on to it. And there's the classic move it call from the bench. You can count on that after somebody's kind of waffling about for 10 seconds.
And goaltender Aiden Malone had come out. He knew there wasn't much else to do but take a long shot, and he made sure to take away all the angle.
That is Bowden Bounds withering that workover from Max Benoit. Had his helmet up on his head a little bit. The U.S. already has a defender out. Now they're going to switch it back up as they seem to be getting possession back. That's Tyler Sebastian with 3 blue jerseys around him. And then he is de-sticked and taken away. There's Hudson Schultz. He really would like to win this battle with his older brother. His shorter brother, he pointed out. Well, I asked him. Because when they came out, they're very tall young men. And I asked him, are you taller than Maverick? He said, I am. Something along those lines. Great chance. Oh, Bomley. Great shot, but he's flattened by Braden Kuzma. Here's a 2-on-1. Posick. No goal. Another crease.
And you know what? He's got to watch that, because That's two good scoring chances where he stepped in the crease, and it really looked like unnecessary for him to get so close.
That one's a little wide. Channing, we're going to get a look at this.
Yeah, watching the, kind of hard to tell there, but
Yeah, this one.
Watching live, I thought he was in the crease right away too.
Boy, this is physical. You saw on the full screen, the shot by Benoit, and he was absolutely flattened, and they're going to get a tripping call. Wait, they're calling Benoit for tripping. Well, let's take another peek at that one. Must be as he went down, because he was taken down as he shot, Shanny.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Okay, number 7 gets knocked down. Okay, as the player tries to, it wasn't much really. But it looked like he clung on for a little bit, but yeah, I think that's one where you just let them both go. Ben was pleading to the crowd behind him. You guys all saw that.
He thinks he's on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and he's doing a shout out to the audience. Oh no, don't do that.
Well,
hope we didn't have the camera on him then.
No, it didn't. He's
good.
overdoing it with the audience right now.
Just keep it classy down there, Max. Pass up top. McNamara, hard shot. J-War got just enough. It trickles wide. They're going to come up to Wick. Nice job by Katz to get it back. Wick finds McNamara back to Wick. Just pops out of his stick. They've got lots of time on the shot clock after that last save. Good ball movement. Chance for Katz. Another stop for J-War, who spins away to keep it from going in afterwards, and Carrick will get it ahead. Here's Bomley. Andrew Bomley, number 5, our player to watch, who probably won't be a big productive player, but scoring-wise, but he's been playing up front.
Yeah.
Now, the Thistles only have 4 players on the floor.
Yeah, they got that penalty by Benoit.
Oh, yeah. That would explain it. I was still thinking back to the matching majors. My goodness. There's a lot going on. There's really no excuse. U.S. back into the offensive zone. Here's Katz setting up on the power play. And Ben Posick at the top. He'll be heading off to Marquette this fall after going to his high schooling at the IMG Academy. There's a bouncer. Is it through? It is. That is Raphael Katz just pounding one off the concrete up and into the net behind J-War. Pretty much through J-War on that one.
Yeah, it took a second for that ball to trickle through J-War. But on the crease, a little bit of room, and yeah, he goes for the bounce shot. It doesn't look like there's much to shoot at here. Yeah, somehow squeezed it. You know, that J-War had his stick down and everything, and somehow squeezed in. So it's a power play goal for the U.S.
Between the leg and the stick, J-War just coming across, and perfect placement. It's 2-0, minute 40 to go. Close game. I know they, that's going to be an over and back. The U.S. coaches were emphasizing to their players this morning, don't take anything for granted. Yes, we had a good game last night. That's over. Let's get on and play well here. This is a good club we're facing. And you can see the Thistles are hanging in there. Lewis circling. Carrick's going to head off and just get the 5th attacker out. They've still got 15 to work on right now on the shot clock. There's Bomley into Ruskowski. Bulls his way through. Did he go through the crease? He did.
Yeah, he did. But
it was close, but he definitely stepped in.
Ruskowski created that scoring chance by throwing a big pick, and that's what he was doing so well yesterday. He'd throw a pick and knock a guy about 2 feet off his balance.
That's an over and back under great pressure from Max Benoit. Oh.
Ben, I don't know what Benoit's going to get an extra penalty if he doesn't calm down. He's really showing up the referee, and he did. Yeah. So I don't know if they
was it a holding call that they gave him?
I don't know what the original call was.
I think they said holding.
But the antics afterwards are not winning any favor with the referee.
So that, with a minute to go in the first quarter, it's huge. The double minor.
I would almost rather a referee give a 10.
Give him a 10?
Give
Yeah.
a 10. Don't penalize his team.
Yeah.
Let him sit there for 10 minutes. Think about what he did.
38 to go. It's a fresh 30. Posick coming forward. U.S. has plenty of time to work with on this power play and a real chance to start to pull away. Posick's shot is stopped. Grabbed by Carrick. He will take off. Pulls up as Posick was beside him. Not sure that Carrick was aware that there was a U.S. player coming to steal that one.
And Carrick was the one yesterday where he impressed us so many times running quickly up the floor. He's got good speed.
Yeah.
Only 8
Landers had
seconds.
stayed back in the defensive zone, but now they get the 5th attacker out. Low to high from Posick gets away, and that's going to wrap things up for the first quarter. But there's still 3:03 to go on the Benoit double minor, who is trying to head over to his bench. He does not get to see that. And we are going to hear from Hudson Schultz of the Scottish Thistles, one of the younger but taller of the Schultz brothers.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's just really cool playing against them, getting to compete against them. From us playing in the backyard, whacking each other without no pads. So I get to rough up on them a little bit with pads on this time. Well, I mean, that upset, I didn't expect the upset. They were a really good team last year. We came out and competed hard. He's a little salty about it. I know they want their get back tonight, and I'm really looking forward to tonight. Probably my brother of the U.S., so. Didn't say much, but they were proud, but I mean, they still would have seen Canada, U.S. in the gold, but. Just go out there, compete, play our game, and hope to get it done again. I don't know. Maybe close game again, maybe.
I'll just put my mic down so I can actually speak to you and you can hear me.
I actually remember to put my mic
there
down
you go.
for the first time.
We're getting there, Shanny. These are great headsets, by the way.
Yeah.
I might want to get one of my own. That was, Hudson Schultz, and he is hoping that his Scottish Thistles can come back from this 2-0 deficit, but this double minor is not going to help.
Yeah, they've already allowed one power play goal, and then it was Benoit who took the first penalty that led to a goal, and it's Benoit who took the second penalty. This one, I think they called it the original penalty, they called it a hold. So, yeah, you could see that. I mean, I could understand Benoit would be a little frustrated, but I think his reaction was over the top, and that's what the referee gave him the extra 2. Yeah. He's not becoming a favorite of the referees. Yeah.
No. And the thing is, I get it. You get frustrated with things. You get, he doesn't think that's a penalty. Maybe it's a penalty. Maybe it's not.
Maybe it is.
Fair
maybe
enough.
it isn't. And I can see where he could be getting frustrated.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But you just can't carry on like that because that's just putting your team in trouble.
If you want to say something to the ref, say it so that we can't hear it up here.
Yeah. And the other thing, of course, is referees remember.
Yeah.
They're human, and there is a cumulative effect. I mean, when you earn a reputation as a player who's going to take penalties, who's going to complain about things, they do, they are looking out. Not that they're like looking to get you, but you just become aware of the players that are continually.
I'm looking at the online stats. They gave that goal to Posick. It was definitely Katz that put it in.
Yes. We'll get that one fixed.
I do think it was McNamara. They gave the assist to McNamara. I think that's correct.
Landers and Bomley, and Landers is going to pull it out. Scooped up there by Jack Cornwell. U.S. gradually getting this power play set up. Pretty slow to get everyone out. They're still just getting the full complement. Posick, the last one to join.
And really, they want to score that first goal within the first 2 minutes if they can.
35 seconds left in the first penalty. Just 4 on the shot clock. McNamara fights his way through. There's a save. That's a good result for the U.S. to get the ball back.
Yeah,
now they've got the full 30 to work with. Not appearing to be in a hurry, just trying to take their time. Oh, There's a lot behind that shot from Katz. Here's Cooper Ganch.
Oh, he missed the man coming off the bench too late now. U.S. reacted pretty well, though.
Braden Kuzma hustling back to pick up Ruskowski. That looked like one of those ones where you realize, oh, I should have just made that pass. And it's too late now.
I'm not even sure he realized it.
No, maybe not.
He stepped over the line. He's got to be looking to his bench to see if it's there.
Braden Stearns, again, the game-winning goal last year. He is fighting through the double team. Great job. Thought he may have actually drawn a holding penalty. It's so hard when you're trying to double team that guy in the short man
and
to not take a penalty.
I like when the guys in the short man do stuff like that, or particularly when they do it driving to the net.
Yes.
Because it often draws a penalty.
Boy, and you've talked about, you're from Mimico, I'm from Peterborough. We've seen lacrosse in a lot of great places, but I know in Peterborough, they love the penalty kill. Back in the old rag days when you had no 30-second clock on the PK, they would start a rhythmic clapping when Mark Stainhouse would get the ball. It was one of the most exciting parts of the game sometimes.
I remember playing against, I think it was the last year that John Grant Sr. and his gang
Drive to the net by Cooper Ganch. Stopped by Malone. Great chance. I liked the take.
Great save.
Yeah, Senior must have been a nightmare to try and get the ball from. But here we go. This is Carson Forney. Oh, right idea, bad pass. But it is scooped back up, and Cornwell will leave it there. Cornwell's really stepping up his game through the week as we go.
Yeah. And not to jinx anybody, but they have killed almost 3.5 minutes. Hope. Do you believe in jinxes?
I'm starting to. I'm starting to believe when you say not to jinx anybody. As you said that, I'm like, Luke McNamara's going to score on this shot. But you know what? I mean, that's just a great shot.
You know what? To still come out of that with just 1 goal against. Nice shot from McNamara.
Wow, can he shoot?
Just along the, oh my gosh. You see there, it looks like goaltender. Jay Ward didn't even react. It was so quick. But that's the second power play goal.
U.S. is going to get possession again off the draw.
And I really think, I hope the Scottish coaches have a talk with Benoit. Keep playing hard, keep being feisty, but lay off the antics.
They tried to feed it through to McNamara. There's a drive for Tyler Sebastian. That one's a little wide, but it gets off the glass. It looked like he was heading up out of play. It didn't. Katz has the rebound. That one's going to get out. That hit actually the ceiling of the Slush Puppie Center, which is up a ways.
Yeah, that's a good bounce. These are not low ceilings.
Luke McNamara is a Ute, going to the University of Utah from Overland Park, Kansas. So he's getting around. Lacrosse taking him to see the world, or at least several parts of it. That shot's off the target. It's going to be an illegal pick. Oh. That was an illegal pick indication, but that, okay, I guess it was. Yeah, it was on Scotland turning it over. All right. U.S. taking their time here as Zachary Ryan flings it across.
Look how tight Scotland is playing Posak.
Yeah, he's not even in the shot.
Almost at center floor.
He actually is at center floor now. He's got 1 foot on center floor, and they have Carrick out on him. He's literally the player to watch because they are watching him wherever he goes. Hard to blame them.
Would you say Mitch Carrick is the best defensive player on the Scotland team?
Maybe.
Well, he's got wheels. We know
he's got wheels.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I mean, Zach Adelino has some oomph. Here's Ruskowski trying to get by Kuzma. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Just pings off the post and back out. And it's tipped away. Here comes Maverick Schultz on the run.
Okay, what was the whistle?
Illegal cross-check behind the play to Braden Kuzma. Maverick Schultz is looking to see who it was to say, hey, I don't get a lot of breakaways. Don't take a penalty when I have one.
He's actually had a few scoring chances in this game. Or not in this game, in the tournament so far.
We do get a look at it. Look at the top right corner here.
Okay, the referee's arm went up there. I didn't really see a lot. But first power play for
Thistles.
Scotland, and Benoit is playing the top of the power play, so he could redeem himself if he can score one here or be part of it.
Ruskowski's going to drive and shoot. No, he's going to spin as he was checked there by Carson Forney, having himself a solid game. Here's Benoit. That had eyes just a little bit wide. And who is wearing 14 for the Thistles?
See, the stats I looked at it had Vichot 14. Oh boy.
Either way, it's
Short-handed
Declan
goal.
Landers at the other end. Shorthanded breakaway goal, and the closest player to Landers was another American.
Yeah, Landers, I believe that's his first goal of the tournament. Oh no, it's his second goal of the tournament. Short-handed breakaway all kinds of time. He gets to actually slow down and take a look. And you tell he's just thinking that far corner, puts it in.
So on the game sheet, it does still have William Lugo as 18. When I talked to the coaches before the game, they said Lugo was out with an injury and Cohen Vishu was in wearing the 18. Sorry for any confusion. This must be Vishu here. Oh, he lays a big hit on, but another breakaway. This is Cornwell. Big stop by Jarrett Jaywar and has it roll right down his arm to him. Great rebound control.
You know, big hit you mentioned by Scotland, but they got to get some guys running back on defense or else to the bench quick. I'll give Benoit credit. He ran back hard, but that's the second breakaway they've given the U.S.
Short-handed.
Short-handed, yeah.
The U.S. are great athletes on this club. They will take off. And once they're past, you won't catch them. Here's a chance for Lewis. Blocked out front. Oh, what a job to reach through and get that by Benoit. And it's going to be Thistles' ball. They've got 19 left on the power play. And Lewis, somehow that ball winds up over Benoit. Outlet pass. Here's Ryan on the run. He's got the man off the bench. Gets it to him. What a pass. Big save, Jaywar.
A nice save by Jaywar.
It's a great pass, though, eh?
Yeah.
Kuzma is released. We're back to even strength. Got the corner cam replay if you want to see it. Oh, that is a beautiful pass. Almost to the point where I didn't know that there was even a passing lane there. But he got it right in the spot. Oh, that's a tough one for Rishu to handle, but he gets it.
That's about the fourth shot by Vishu in the last minute. Oh, here we go off the bench again.
Oh, it's McNamara. Yeah, he's not going to be stopped very often. Throws a couple of hard fakes. Rips that one home into the top corner.
Well, the U.S. in this second quarter has really thrown their transition game at Scotland. That's been the difference. That, you know, short-handed, a couple of breakaways, that other pass that you loved, and then here there's even an easier pass because there's a lot more room in the passing lane, and McNamara makes no mistake on the breakaway.
Yeah, that probably comes partly from the defender managing to race off to the bench. That's one of the factors, and when you're on a bench, you really see it, how much it's appreciated when your defenders are racing off the floor so that the forwards can get off the bench in transition. All those times we've talked about, Shane Jackson, Dane Doby, some of the great players coming off the bench in bench transition, they will say immediately, hey, a big part of it is the guy getting there to let them go.
Absolutely, and that's, that guy that never gets the assist because he just puts his head down when his team looks like they're getting the ball and races to the bench. That makes a big difference.
I can tell you, though, when you're on a bench, everyone recognizes that.
Oh, yeah.
People love that.
Yeah. When I played, I was not the guy coming off the bench for the breakaway. I was the guy putting my head down and running to the bench.
Yeah, you were.
John Tavares was the guy coming off the bench.
John Tavares, though, could play anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching a game where he was with the St. Regis Indians, came to Peterborough to play the Lakers. The Indians had 11 runners. So John Tavares just played defense the whole night, and he was a great defender. He could have been an NLL All-Star as a defender.
Oh, yeah.
And he would just make plays, and then he would strip the ball, pick it up, and hit somebody on a break. He may have led them in scoring. They almost won that game.
He actually liked playing defense, too. And before we really started going to the offense, defense. He liked defense because he got so many transition opportunities
Yes.
off of steals and loose balls, that kind of stuff.
He's top 3 in the NLL history in loose balls, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
not surprised.
Yeah. Here's Ruskowski. you're catching on, Shanny.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, it just pops out of the stick there from Pazienza. Does get it back in. They can't quite connect. That's a handball.
I saw that.
Hey, Shanny, what's the first thing you tell kids?
Don't touch it with your hands.
There you go.
We could see it from up here, so the referee could definitely see it.
Yeah.
Oh, that pass almost made it through. Here we go. Oh, boy.
Apparently my phone thinks that Hey Shanny is a call to it because it just answered my question.
Oh, that's funny.
I'll have to train it a little more. Here's Zachary Ryan again. Slowly, he's going to stay for an offensive shift. He's been out there occasionally in the front end. That pass is picked off. On the run here is Ethan Urbanski.
Nope.
Wide.
He'll
get it back. He didn't. Did he go? He didn't go through the crease.
I thought he did, but it doesn't matter. That was so long ago. The referee probably forgot.
Urbanski gets it back. Scores!
Oh.
Ethan Urbanski. Redemption from the first miss. Whether or not he went through the crease, that is a beautiful wrap up.
Good for him. That was hard work from the start. Starts with an interception, breakaway. He goes back for his own loose ball. And, when you talk about guys going to the bench and teammates will appreciate the hard work from a bench. I don't know how he put it in. I don't think it was 5-0. I think he just went short side.
That's another one where you just, even when you see it, it's like, where did that go?
Yeah.
Great play by Urbanski.
And I think I can safely say that's Urbanski's first goal of the tournament.
Hudson Schultz almost had that quick restart picked up. It just got away from him. And then Braden Stearns went to take off with it. It was in the corner, and the official saying, come on back up here. Can't start down there. Here's Lewis. Flips it up to Vishu. Wow, that's a tough pass to catch down to the opposite hip. Benoit does eventually come away with it. It gets loose now. And it's going to be a penalty coming. One official was calling loose ball push. The other says, yeah, that's a penalty.
I thought it was on Scotland. I thought the guy came in late on Scotland.
That's going to be Cornwell going. 2 minutes or less for, we're going to say, illegal cross check. Let's take a peek at it, Shanny.
Okay, it's neither of these guys, is it? That was not much of a bump.
There's a bunch of kids down sitting beside the penalty box. They want some pictures. We've got we have our Elton down there getting some shots of Cornwell in the box.
Well, he's got some fans.
He does. I can see that. Benoit with the rip. Nice save, Malone. It's going to come back to Vishu.
Well, Scotland's got to do a better job of taking away U.S.'s transition. One way to do that is to score.
Stearns' hard rip goes wide. It was touch. Actually, it touched Malone. They're saying fresh 30.
Yeah, I thought it even hit the post.
Now, don't. My one little tip there, don't pick that ball up. Just kick it ahead.
Yeah.
Pick it up when you get to center. If they're not coming to pressure you, you don't need to start the 30-second clock, which doesn't start till you have it possession in your stick. Oh, great chance and a finish by Austin Maybe. We saw that gaping cage, and Malone was just a fraction of a second late getting across.
And Maybe got 3 goals yesterday against Australia, but honestly, he had been invisible so far in this game. Pass from Ruskowski, but that is a nice shot by Maybe. Yeah, that was the only spot he could put it in. He just squeezed it in that top corner. So 2 straight goals for Scotland.
So the Thistles pull within 5-2 with 5:40 to go here in the first. Remember last year, we had a very different game between these two teams. It was 5-3 for the Thistles after the first quarter. Here we are, just 7 goals, and we're almost at halftime. It was 10-8 at the half last year. So both teams a little tighter defensively. The U.S. turns that one over, and here comes Landers stepping across center. That was Drew Norris, number 25, along the boards. Again, one of the players we haven't really heard the name too much. Here's Zachary Ryan. Back to Norris, scores.
Oh, nice
the
rebound.
putback. Great position, and he just beat Urbanski to the rebound.
Who took that first shot for the U.S.? As the first shot,
The first shot is Zachary Ryan.
but yeah, big rebound. In fact, a big, slow, bouncing rebound. And Jay War was too slow to react to that.
Thistles get the ball back, and Adelino into the offensive zone. Hudson Schultz wants the ball. Now he's going to head down low. He was looking for it across on the far side. Now he's into the slot. I was hoping his brother was out there so we could see them actually up against each other head to head. Oh, what a rip, though, from Austin Mabey, who is starting to feel it. Big hug from Nate Lewis. They loved that offside shot. That honestly looked like Willem Firth the way he took that one.
Well, if he can get hot, that would be great for Scotland, because Ruskowski's got an assist, but he hasn't really brought anything to the net so far this game. So if all of a sudden maybe he can start scoring on some outside shots, that change the complexion of everything. They've got to spread out a little more to try to take that away from him. Beautiful shot.
It's become much more common these days for players to shoot on their offside than it used to be. You really used to stick more to your side, right?
Yeah.
Landers comes away with it, flicks it back. It'll be knocked ahead by Gormson, and McNamara is looking to get this one. Katz will flip it up to the top to Posick as McNamara goes to the middle, and he's getting a lot of attention from a pair of Thistles. Big pick. That's going to be an illegal pick. You can see Bomley just kind of collapsing to the floor for a moment after he took that bump from McNamara. Down in the corner cam, you can see the incident. It's not incident, but that's a big pick.
Yeah.
Driving to the net is Stearns. Near side scores. Great subtle fake to get Malone moving to his right and come back to the goalie's left.
Yeah. Malone definitely overreacted on this fake. So, that just says something about how good the fake was by Stearns. Because there's really no angle. And Stearns is able to get Malone to jump, and then that gives him the open net. Nice goal.
Telling you, the Thistles are really becoming a burr in the side of this U.S. club. You get that? That was like the maybe play.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Did?
No, that one flew over my head.
Here's Schultz with the ball. Bomley will leave it there for Benoit as they complete their change, with Ruskowski coming on. Back to Benoit. He's going to shoot. That one hit the outside of the netting.
I saw that touch.
Back to Ruskowski. Reverse whip. Nice stop by Malone.
Nice
He had to be
try.
alert. Looking up the floor.
Oh boy.
Not
Look
a
at
bad
this.
idea, but a bad pass. And here is Maybe. Berries. Austin Maybe is really hot.
But give credit to Urbanski. Intercepts it, really an easy interception, but the pressure by Maybe caused that kind of a panic of a pass, and maybe as soon as he saw Urbanski get it, he went towards the net, called for it, and too many times in this tournament we've seen guys not realizing somebody's open. Well, Urbanski realized the second he caught that, I want to get that ball up the floor to Maybe, who's got the hot stick.
4 minutes ago, it was 5-1 for the U.S. Now, they have to be thankful that Drew Norris put in that rebound goal, or they'd be tied up.
Yeah.
It's a 6-5 one-goal lead.
They've now scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the last.
Posick steps on the crease again.
5 of the last 6 goals.
What a run. It's 4-4, actually 5-4 for the Thistles here in the second quarter. Bichou fights through. He's got a lane shoot. Stopped by Malone.
That's a good
Just
save.
got it with the foot. Oh, and a breakaway chance. Can he get it? No.
Oh, boy.
Third time might be the charm, but by now the Scots are back and they'll knock it loose. Somehow Zachary Ryan still comes away with it and almost got a break. He'll fling it across and save it. Paul Ruskowski was checking down on someone to forecheck up at the other end, but it wasn't the guy who was getting the ball.
Yeah.
I don't think he realized that ball was loose.
Yeah, and sometimes you're better to move back than check forward.
That shot by Norris was wide. It's going to be an over and back, and the Scots have a chance to try and tie this thing up. Benoit had a player coming to change, didn't realize it at all.
And I don't think the player going to change even thought about hitting him.
No. Ruskowski to maybe floats one far side, but Malone gets it.
That was a nice little play. And, you know, Malone looks a little rattled. He's got 5 goals scored on him, as you said, in the last 5 minutes or so. Look at this, man, wide open.
Schultz gets out there and clamps down on his opposite number 2, Raphael Katz, as it comes to McNamara now, bounces it near side. Tyler Sebastian will rip. He's scored some goals from there.
Yeah, that's good shooting range for him. Look up the floor.
Outlet pass to Carrick. He catches it, accelerates. Now he's going to pull up because he saw Sebastian coming back. I like that. That's awareness by Carrick to know before the ball gets to him, his situation. He knew there were some American players rushing back. He wasn't going to be able to just accelerate and get anywhere, so he lets the offense set up. Here's Bichou. Stearns in front, gets his stick back. Now Cornwall lost his stick. He has it back. It's off the glass. Spinning to get it, and the 30's going to expire, so it's about to be picked up by Pazienza, and now there's a penalty.
Just not thinking. That was Pazienza. After the whistle blows, you just have to drop it. You can't throw it in the corner, roll it in the corner. And the referees never miss this play. You're going to see what he does. Yeah, the whistle goes. Just put the ball down. And that's a relatively new rule. Has it been 10 years?
It's been about that, because I remember we've got 1 minute left. We have a timeout here, and I do remember when that rule was. I mean, the rule was always in place that you weren't allowed to roll the ball away, but it was just a point of emphasis made by the NLL, and it's kind of, I think, trickled down everywhere.
Oh, it has.
I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah.
Because,
people used to do it all the time.
People would put a ball down and kick it.
Yeah.
You know, and sorry about that, or roll it. So, yeah, now it's you put that ball down the second the whistle goes, or you're getting a penalty.
And I talked to Colin Doyle, who was playing still for the Toronto Rock at the time, after an exhibition game, the preseason, the year that they put it in, and said, how's that new rule playing out? And he said, oh, it works. I got a penalty for it. I won't do it again. Our whole team saw what happened. They're like, okay, that's how you're going to call it? Got it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You learn from it. But hopefully that's a learning moment for Pazienza. He's going to hope his teammates can kill this minor. 1 minute to go. 2-minute minor. The U.S. would love to get one here before the break. Give themselves a little bit more of a gap. Ben Posick will start with the ball. It's that Fisher Gadbois, number 6, over at the righty shooter spot, and Drew Norris down low. The lefty's McNamara, of course, at the shooter, and down low is Raphael Katz.
Yeah, and the U.S. has 2 power play goals already this game by Katz and McNamara.
Ganch and Adelino up at the top. Carrick is down at the bottom with Baumley for the penalty kill. Posick, nice job by the Scots to get out there, but their box is kind of falling apart a bit with that. They recover it, but the space was open in the middle. That's a big save by Jay War.
That's a huge save.
A lot of movement by the top of the penalty kill box.
Yeah, defensive mistake by the guy at the top of the box to let Pozak, of all people, just walk in.
Here's Baumley. About 10 seconds more on the shot clock, or on the game clock, of course, in the shot clock. So Baumley's just going to kill as much as he can.
Right.
Got to keep cradling. He is. He kept doing it. Now he's got his man open. Comes out to Benoit. He's going to get a shot off here. Spins, shoots, just misses.
Not a bad effort, but they got to get their guys back on defense. I don't know if U.S. calling a timeout.
Oh, so Scotland, the Scottish must have taken it. Oh, was it just a water break before? Or was it the Scots? Because I thought the U.S. had called that timeout to set up their power play.
Not sure.
Does Shahab know who took the first time out? No. It's like he's busy with other things.
He's busy producing and directing.
Right. Shout out to Shahab and his crew from Trickshot. They're doing a great job with us here.
Yes,
We're really enjoying working with them. And I hope you're enjoying all these broadcasts. Things are just going to ramp up as we get ready for the final day. Tomorrow will be a one-game day. That will see Canada and Scotland competing Wednesday at 8 p.m. Thursday, the semis, third versus second will be at 5 p.m. Fourth versus first will be at 8 p.m. And then on Friday, we will crown the bronze medalist and the 2025 IIJL World Junior Champions. That should be a good one.
And I love how much it means to all these guys. Like,
oh, yeah.
U.S. badly wants to win it again. Scotland badly wants to make sure they don't win it again.
Yeah.
And Canada wants to get past a slightly embarrassing loss yesterday. What, the final was about 18-12?
It was 18-12, and it was 12-11.
It was a much closer game going into the third
fourth
period.
Starting the fourth, right?
It was 12-11 going into the fourth quarter.
Canada, all kinds of issues with discipline. And here's a chance right before the buzzer. The hard shot from McNamara. He's got one more in him, and one more saved by Jay Moore.
I'm impressed they got a second shot out of that.
That was quick. And it was nerve-wracking for a moment, I think, for the Scots, because that was one where Jay Moore, as he made the save, the butt end of the stick hit the mesh in the net.
Oh,
and it looks like the net's going.
Oh, yeah.
Just makes it. Anyway, we will take a break. What a really good first half. The U.S. was up 5-0 in this game. They were up 6-2. The Scots have crept back in. Austin maybe is heating up. What will happen? Will we have a repeat of last year's thriller between the U.S. and Scots that went right down to the wire with a Braden Stearns game winner? Who knows? Stick with us at the IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championships here in Kingston, Ontario. Let me know when you want to come to the highlights. Just give me a little. Happy Canada Day, lacrosse friends. Welcome back to Canada's original capital, Kingston, Ontario, at the Slush Puppie Place. It is a thrilling game that was for a while looking like it might be a runaway. The U.S. getting off to a big start, but the Scottish Thistles battling back. I'm Stephen Stamp. He is Brian Shanahan. Thanks for being with us here at the IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championships. We're going to see how we got to this 6-5 halftime score. Shanny, take us through here.
Yeah, not a bad first period actually for both teams, but Tyler Sebastian is going to score a goal here to give it a 1-0 lead for the U.S. And then on the power play, Katz down on the crease, takes a step in, that makes it 2-0. That's how the first quarter ended, but the U.S. stretched this lead. There's McNamara doing what we've seen him do so many times on an underhand hard shot. And then after that, Landers gets a short-handed goal and a breakaway. And McNamara, coming off the bench, makes it 5-0. So as you said, it's looking like a rout. But after that, a great shift by Urbanski. He missed a breakaway, went in the corner, got the ball back, and scored the goal. Shortly after that, I think it was on the power play, maybe scores the first goal. Nice pass from Ruskowski. But then to kill the momentum, Drew Norris puts it in, kill the momentum we thought, but no. Maybe scores again. That made it 6-3. Just after that, a really nice move by Stearns to pull the goalie off his post. That made it 6-4. And then I like this goal too. And again, Urbanski's involved, maybe the finisher. That made it 6-5. And all of a sudden, we've got a barn burner. I mean, it's been rough from the start, but both teams are in the thick of this right now.
It's really turned into a game. And again, we talked about last year, the score, the final, 16-15 for the Scottish Thistles, a huge upset. We heard Hudson Schultz earlier say, I didn't expect that upset last year. He's playing for the Scottish Thistles. He was playing against his brother. He didn't expect that to happen. They didn't expect. They played a great game.
And you know it's in the minds of both teams. And you know, Malone started the game off playing fantastic. Not that he played bad later on, but he looked unbeatable for a while. But you know, a couple of fakes, couple outside shots, and these guys are starting to think. And the U.S. was looking slightly rattled. I want to say slightly, but yeah, Scotland is showing them something that they should be worried about.
So if you're the U.S., they have gone half and half with their goalies at least once in the tournament. Do you go to Beck Hagen?
I don't like changing goalies when it's a 6-5 game and the guy is not playing badly. So I would stay with Malone. I think Beck might have been the better goalie so far from what I've seen in the tournament, but I'd stick with Malone.
The one last point, the Scottish Thistles within one goal, and Paul Ruskowski, does he even have a point?
One assist on the power play. But on the other hand, Posek has nothing.
That's true.
Has nothing. So
there you go.
Yeah, two big guns have not contributed offensively so far.
We'll see how it goes as we get going. It's 6-5 U.S. over the Scottish Thistles. We're ready for second half action. One minute until we get rolling here. You can see the Scots in their huddle around Jarrett Jawar, who is such a centerpiece for them. Again, their coach, Jack Spallone, saying that he grew 3 inches since last year and lost about 20 pounds. He is fit, he is healthy, he is feeling athletic. And Drew Pollock, the U.S. head coach, just walked out onto the floor and was looking, I thought, notably concerned.
Oh, really? And by you telling us about him growing and losing weight and all, you forget how young these guys are.
Yeah.
They are still growing, these guys.
They are.
You think, I mean, they are young men, but some of them are as big as any man you're going to see.
Speaking of growing, they are.
Yeah.
Speaking of growing, first day of the tournament when I got here, I was walking around and I saw somebody waving, pointing, and they pointed and said, look over there. And it's like, who is that great big kid? It was Max, the wipe guy from last year, who was down. He was doing the floor sweeps.
Oh, yeah.
And he's back. Awesome kid. Just
really?
Adding. And I took a picture with him. We got a picture with the two of us last year. And I saw him, and I was like, is he standing on something?
He hasn't caught up to you yet.
No. But, I mean, I don't know if Not many people do. It's the curse and the blessing of being 6'8".
That's right.
Very noticeable. It's hard to get close.
Yeah, I know. I've been with you enough that I know you're not always loving it.
Yeah, trying to get in cars. Anyway, we have 39 seconds left on the penalty to Pazienza, that delay of game call. Will it come back to bite them, or can the Thistles continue some success that they've had on this penalty kill? It's going to be Posick looking to shoot. He passes instead. That's a
nice
huge
save.
hit.
Nice hit, nice save.
And Ian Wick didn't enjoy it. He was the one who was sent flying separately from his stick, and the Scots are going to kill this penalty. And that can be a momentum booster. We talked about the major that the Canadians faced in their game against the U.S. and how that can be such a big boon if you can kill it. Here's Benoit going to the net, shoots, save by Aiden Malone.
Not a great angle. He got the shot on net, but we saw a goal earlier that Stern scored on almost the same play.
Boy, Malone was hugging his post tight this time, though.
He didn't jump off the post.
No. Benoit saw that and went far side.
Yeah, but some guys have that nice fake that can make a goalie jump.
Yeah, almost involuntarily. There's a sidearm bouncer. Speaking of the near pipe being available, Nicholas Elam finds it from distance.
Yeah, and I don't think this is one that Jay Wire will like.
No. That was almost Jason Elam kicking distance.
And not even a super hard shot, I didn't think, but Jay Wire thinks he's set up, but he gives too much room to that once. I don't know. I can't tell if I went through the 5-hole or not.
I think it was near post.
I thought it was near post on the original shot, watching it live. On that replay, I really couldn't tell. But that's when he wants to save.
I'm guessing you're not a big Broncos fan like I am.
No.
You're not a Steelers guy.
I'm really not an.
Okay.
And I'm a Bills, if anything.
Okay, fair enough. I've been a Broncos guy for a long time, so hence the Jason Elam reference.
Oh,
what a rip there from Andrew Baumley. It's going to turn into an over and back. It just got away from Stearns. Jay War leaves it there. I thought he was going to toss it in the other corner. As a goalie, I've asked goalies and refs about it. You actually kind of have the choice there as a goalie, which corner you want to toss that ball into. I thought for a second he was thinking he'd like it to his left, but doesn't seem like he's too worried about it. Cats has room. Gets under Baumley. Baumley trail check.
Oh, yeah, nice trail check.
A nice slide by Carrick as well. Boy, these Thistles play together well as a defensive unit.
And I was just watching up floor, and I did mention how Posick has nothing so far. Well, the reason is they're covering him at center floor when he doesn't have the ball, so they are just gluing a player to him. I think it's
it wasn't Carrick there. It was earlier.
That time it was Carrick earlier.
Driving underneath, a bouncer taken there by Pazienza. Malone didn't have any trouble with that. There's a push in the back called, and Benoit will pop up off the floor.
Benoit has been very involved in this game.
I feel like he'd be very popular in my hometown of Peterborough. What a shot from the outside. Is that Pazienza?
I think it was Nate Lewis took
Nate
that
Lewis,
shot.
okay.
And it's a nice outside shot. And, these ones are harder for the goalie because there's bodies in front, there's sticks in front. There was a little stick on stick when this shot was taken, but
and that's
it's
Pazienza.
just a hard shot. It was Pazienza?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought Lewis took the shot.
Lewis was sealing, set the screen in there.
Very good.
So the Thistles respond quickly to that U.S. goal. I was saying Benoit, I think he'd go over well in Peterborough. He's little, he's feisty, chip on his shoulder. If his last name was Evans, he'd be fitting right in. Here's Carrick on the run. That ball bounces all the way back. Ruskowski gets it. We'll see if the Thistles can get him going. What a difference that would make. We pointed out he had 6 points last year in their win over the U.S. Stearns trying to fight through. Landers, good job recovering. Looked like he might be beaten for a second. Stearns still fighting. Trying to Alex De La Ronde.
Landers is doing a fantastic job there.
That is going to be a 30-second violation. Baumley wanted some help from the officials, and he's going to get it. The Scots will get the ball back. Austin maybe has it. Boy, how much did that Landers shift remind you of the Baumley shift yesterday that you loved?
Absolutely. And like it looked like Stern wanted the ice. I was actually surprised the Scottish guys didn't get out of his way, but it would have made no difference. Oh, that was a nice effort.
That's a great fake and take from Andrew Baumley,
Yeah.
a defender who's getting up into the offensive zone. Thought he was going to get it. The U.S. defense did recover, but here is Stearns. Little slip. Again, the players mentioned at practice this morning that it is a little bit
slippery, yeah.
slick. Mostly along the edges. And the Scots said they have been hairspraying on the shoes. They've been doing everything, but then it picks up some dust eventually.
Yeah,
You got to wipe.
that works once.
Yeah. Benoit taken down there by Gormson. Pops back up, fresh 30. Maybe trying to fight out of the corner. Tries to roll it. It does get through to Stearns. He can't quite come away with it. It's going to be Cornwell getting the ball.
And not a lot of Scottish players getting back.
Enough, though, just to pick up Zachary Ryan as Benoit again. We've said, he could probably tone down the theatrics a bit, but boy, he plays hard.
Yes, he's competitive.
Yes. Out there for a D shift, he's against Ryan, and he's not playing token D. He's out there hitting guys, jumping out on the stick there, and really making it tough for Sebastian.
Okay, Baumley got a penalty. I don't like this penalty at all. I thought, I don't know who it was on the U.S., thought he went down way too easily.
It's on Ian Wick, the U.S. player, number 10 there.
Yeah, hopefully if we get a replay of this, it's a hit by Baumley. I think it's just a good hard hit, and I don't think Wick had to go down, and even the referee really took his time. I think watching the right side. Here's the shot. No, there's no shot. It's just a little hit.
Shanny.
Oh, man. You give me the
I don't know.
penalty? Okay.
I think maybe. I was with you because I hadn't seen it, and then I saw the play, and I was
on
like,
my description.
"Oh yeah." I was like, "Oh, of course."
The video evidence
let him hit it, but
told you otherwise.
Yeah. One of the okay, we'll get back to that, but the U.S. driving on the power play, McNamara misses. It's going to come back out to Posick. Quickly moves to Wick, and nobody's near him. He walks in, big save, Jared Jawar. Carrick hesitates and makes a sketchy pass that will be go to Wick.
Cooper Ganch.
That's a clean hit.
Oh boy.
That's just a whole lot of getting tired out there for the Scots. So much happening, and eventually Wick just rips it home. And Wick took a big hit. Or sorry, was that Raphael Katz?
I think it is Katz scored that goal. Tell him to pull his sweater out so we can see.
Right?
Yeah, that's a big hit. But then the big shot, and I believe it was Raphael Katz.
Yeah.
But yeah, all kinds of scoring chances for the U.S. on that power play. And one of the plays earlier on, I think it was Cooper Ganch lost his stick and had to go to the other side of the floor to pick it back up. And that was what we were talking about the other day. Sometimes play without the stick.
Yeah, yeah. That's one thing I learned early in my broadcasting career is if you're not sure who scored, trust the camera guy because they always get it. Whoever they're following, that's the guy. Almost invariably, right?
I mean, in hockey now it's easy because it's the first guy to the bench, but sometimes you can see who is celebrating the most in lacrosse.
There's a discussion going on here. I'm not sure why.
They haven't put the goal up yet, but I didn't hear any indication that wasn't a goal. It's up there now.
That's a long way to run with the ball after you pick it up. Jack Cornwall testing the limits of the back over center rule. You can on the face-off. You can go back over as long as you haven't established yourself going towards the other net. That's a nice job by Urbanski to pop that one out. But usually at some point, you've taken enough steps, they want you to just turn around. Lewis steps into the offensive zone. Ball pops loose. Kuzma, nice pass ahead. It's a 2-on-0. All alone as Zachary Ryan buries it. Perfect placement into the top corner. Back-to-back goals for the U.S. make it 9-6.
All-round nice play for the U.S., but it sort of starts with a bit of a bad pass, a little bit high. But I like how each player moves the ball forward. They're not trying to beat all their men. just move it to the guy who's further up the floor. And, you know, starts with a short pass and then a nice easy pass and good finish.
So, Shanny, can the Thistles battle back again? I mean, we saw it last year where every time the U.S. pulled ahead, the Thistles had, or actually it was the Thistles got ahead. The U.S. had a response, but every time the U.S. responded, the Thistles responded. U.S. actually went ahead late in the game. This is a bit of a different situation with Scottish a little bit shorthanded, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And, you know, Lugo going out earlier.
Well, I mean, I truly think when both teams are playing at the best, this U.S. team is just a better team. They're a little bit more athletic. They've got more bodies, more speed, but...
Not more speed than Carrick, but he does fight his way through. What a job to get through that double team.
Yeah, what the Scotland team has a lot of is heart, though. These guys have a will, so that counts for a lot.
Benoit will back away, wait for everyone to get out there. Ruskowski's the next guy off the bench. Benoit almost drifted one into the near post and then ran through the back of Braden Kuzma.
Late shot, no call. A few U.S. players wanted to see a penalty there.
Zachary Ryan, I thought he was going to stay for another offensive shift. He scored that beauty in transition. Here's Zachary Katz, and Bomley's on the floor. That goes in, and Bomley is disbelieving that there wasn't a call, but well, taken advantage of the opening by the U.S.
Jawar almost looked like as he turned, he put the ball in the net, but Katz with his Wayne Gretzky tucked in sweater comes right down the center, gets his third goal of the game. I didn't see how Bomley went down. Oh yeah, so that he didn't turn around and put it in. He turned around because it was already in.
I was actually about, as Katz was racing down, I was going to say Raphael Wayne Gretzky Katz.
I beat you to it.
You did. We're of a like mind. Norris comes away with that ball off the face-off. Pair of Thistles on him, a third coming. That's Schultz, a big collision. They both go down. That's going to be a penalty, and that's going to be another one.
It could be a second one, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's two to Zach Adelino.
Yeah.
We're going to see this again, Shanny, and clearly there was one already called.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to call both, but there definitely has to be one in here. I mean, the rule is, I mean, it's you can cross-check a guy as much as you want when he has the ball, but as soon as he goes down, you cannot hit him again. And it almost looked like, oh, and that's a nice slash too. So
yeah, the second slash I thought was pretty obvious.
Yeah, it almost looked like as the player tried to get up, he knocked him back down.
And that's that's the gray area, I guess, right?
It's a tough thing in lacrosse when a guy is down. You're hitting, and then you just have to stop.
And then if he starts getting up, when can you hit him again?
What is up? Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And I don't know. You could still hit his stick, so you can swing at his stick, but you can't hit him.
It is only one penalty, so there we go. It was just the minor, so it's the slash on Adelino. And I think we both agree.
Yeah, in some ways.
Agree. There's a slash. There's definitely
you
a penalty.
could say it's an accumulative thing. Like, call it whatever you want, slash or illegal cross-check.
Posek behind the net. Shopping gets it out to Wick. Goes far side. Gadbois' shot was blocked out front. They gave them a 30. No, the ref does have the count on the 30. Good job. They're at 6 on the shot clock. Jawar makes the stop. Jack Spallone wanted the play blown down. He thought the 30 had expired, but nice job by the official there to make it clear that he had it. He was yelling across loudly.
Yeah,
I took my earmuff off to make sure I could hear.
All knew what was going on.
Yeah. And we could hear him with the count up here in the media row. Here's Ruskowski. They would love to get him going. Stearns rips one. That's a little wide. Just gets by Benoit. And here's Ryan on the run. Carrick coming to meet him off the bench. Carrick definitely had an impact on that shot by Ryan.
Yeah, and that's a play for Ryan to not shoot.
Yeah, I think it.
He's got 42 seconds in the power play when he's taking a shot from not a very dangerous. I know
From
we've
distance
seen
on his
we've
offside.
seen some of them go in,
Yeah,
but you know,
I'm with you. Get it to
go
the
with the
power play
odds.
there.
Yeah.
That's part of the whole process is learning. Here's maybe. He tried to fling one behind the back late in the shot clock, didn't quite connect. Cornwell will just let the buzzer go. Now he'll scoop it up, and Benoit just lurking, ready to check as soon as he can.
Yeah, Benoit, they got away with a slash there.
did.
Even looked at the referee to see. Are you calling this? Nope.
Another tip, kids, don't look at the ref after you slash somebody, wondering if they're going to call you.
Look up the floor.
Yeah, out of the penalty box. Here comes Adelino. He scored on the breakaway. Again, he scores. He had a beauty before, and he almost concusses Braden Stearns in the celebration.
That was a nice goal. And, you know, I love the way when he came out of the penalty box, as soon as he came out, he screamed with his stick, not with his words.
Yes.
And you're going to see he comes out of the penalty box, his stick is up. This is after the finishing, but he takes a good hard shot. Yeah, out of the penalty box, he lets him know he's open. Even though a player is closing in on him, he gets a nice shot.
That's one of my new favorite phrases, Shanny. Screamed with his stick. I love that. It's perfect. Because I mean, we could see it because he's right underneath us, and he was like jamming that stick in the air, like, give me the ball.
Yeah.
And they did. Another breakaway goal for Adelino. The Thistles keep battling back, and that's going to be a penalty for Benoit.
Yeah, Benoit
goes
just
down.
walked to the penalty box. I don't know. Oh, he's trying to compare heights.
And now he's saying it was a dive.
Yeah, he's going to get called again if he doesn't. And then when he gets in the penalty box, he's
Interacting with the fans.
Interacting with the fan, yeah. Okay.
Shanny, look at the bottom corner left here.
Yeah, let's watch. I don't know. If a guy throws a pick in front of you, are you not allowed to run him over?
It's usually my approach, but I'm not agile enough to get around them. So. There's also a big slick of sweat on the floor there. So, where's Max? Let's throw him a towel. He'll get out there and wipe that thing up. He's such a great kid. Sorry to bring it back, but he was just awesome. Great kid, hardworking, loved being around. Oh, Cats.
Cats, well, it's a little early to pick a player of the game, but Raphael Katz has 4 goals now. And he fixed his sweater so that we know that's him.
So you like him more now?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice shot.
Jay Moore kind of approaches this one a little differently, it looks like, than he generally does, kind of throwing that foot out ahead of him. I don't recall seeing that from him, and that seems like it may have opened up the leg a bit. Obviously, he's just reacting to what he's seeing and trying to stop it any way he can. Did that seem unusual to you, Shanny?
I didn't really look at it too carefully, but I thought that was an excellent shot from Katz.
It was a really good shot. That low-to-low just skimming along the concrete, it was really good. Here's Norris on the near side. Another chance for the U.S. to try to just keep their foot on the gas, see if they can draw this out, because you know the Thistles can come back. There's Adelino checking. We know what he can do. He just scored a breakaway goal. 6 on the shot clock. That one's well off the mark, but it comes back to Sebastian. He's going to run out of time, though. It's scooped up here by Hudson Schultz. You can just see him thinking, how can I get to the net against his brother? Brilliant. I think they may have actually smiled at each other.
I think he gave his brother a little slash back.
Yeah, he said he was going to. He talked, there's a trip. Yeah. Oh, and that should be a slash coming back the other way. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get that one.
No.
But you're right. Maverick Schultz gave a bit of a slash while he was down.
Hudson was talking about, of course, how they started playing in the yard when they were kids, no pads on. He said he enjoys the chance once in a while to get to hit his brother back, return some of that.
Where are they from? Where did they grow up? Sorry for putting you on the spot.
Come on, man.
I thought, Stamper, you knew everything.
I know. I just forget. You and your ways. There's a almost shot from Katz. And Scotland does make their way up over center. Here's Bomley with it once again. Crestwood, Kentucky. That's right. And the accent was, I think, probably more noticeable with Hudson.
Oh, yeah.
But a very polite young man. They definitely had a bit of an accent. There's a
Oh,
swat on the
there's
floor.
one.
Yeah, that's Zachary Ryan. He's going to go, and
Yeah.
he didn't even get his money's worth on that one.
You know, good job by Bomley, though. Like, Bomley goes to the corner, almost like welcoming 2 or 3 guys to hit him. Almost seems hopeful. If I take enough punishment, I might draw a penalty. And he spent a lot of time there. Yeah, and it was just that last slash we saw that got called. Zach Ryan gets the penalty. And is that another power?
It's going to be 4-on-4.
Yeah,
there's a minute 12 left. So some space out there. Let's see if they try to run something here for the 2 low guys on the offense are Ruskowski and Maybe. Maybe's been the hotter shooter. Ruskowski, though, is such a big factor for them. They need him to get going if they're going to come back. He'll flick it to the far side to Vishu, who takes a shot. Didn't get a lot on it. It's going to come out to Benoit. Nice job not letting the defender know it was coming. Now there's a penalty coming. Oh, and Benoit tried to get the shot off. Good idea.
He wanted to maximize the...
the 4-on-3 time.
I don't know, did somebody run into the goaltender?
Forney's going to the box.
But Malone looks like he's stretching something out. And I think the referee has called time. I don't know if he wanted somebody to look at the goaltender. Oh, sorry, I missed that.
I think he did. It looked like he was worried about Malone. And you can see there was the collision. The Scottish player was checked into Malone, no question. And now they are going to send Malone over to the bench to let them have a look, let them get a drink of water, make sure the gear's all okay. So it will be 4-on-3. Actually for 55 seconds. And then when Lewis is released, it'll actually go to 5-on-3 for a bit. Now, if the Scots score before that 55 seconds is up, that would release the first U.S. penalty, but it would stay 4-on-4. And there's about a minute. There's a minute 5 between the Scots penalty and the U.S. penalty, the second one.
Yeah.
So during that 4-on-4, after that minute 5, then the Scots would have some power play time again.
Well, this is where I think you want to get that ball to maybe stick. Rosowski, although we haven't seen it today, is just as dangerous on his side.
Gormson's the low defender. Kuzma and Bounds up at the top, and I think Forney would usually be out there if he wasn't one of the ones in the box. Maybe with a rip, it's on the backside of the net. Ruskowski trying to get there to get it away from Gormson, who does a nice job just running through a couple of checks, a third check.
Yeah, Gormson looked very good.
Very poised.
Very poised, yes. 2 big guys on him, and he just calmly ran it out. Yeah, he's a big guy. He looks like he's tall and thick.
Again, the Scots have, in 20 seconds, will be getting a player out of the box in Lewis. So the U.S. just trying to kill some time here. McNamara may have other thoughts, trying to draw a penalty, get a goal. Can he? Doesn't quite get it off. He was close. And he just leaves his stick as it was being knocked away. Good effort there by McNamara. And we go to 5-on-3, 49 seconds for the Thistles to work with. Ruskowski. Lewis heading to the bench. And he's going to be replaced by Benoit, who will be the safety valve up top. He's standing up around center. Pazienza got it to Ruskowski, who moved it quickly, but Stearns takes a high hit.
Oh, another penalty.
Yeah, there is a penalty coming. And that's going to be a penalty shot. Yeah, there's the indication, because there are already 2 players in the box. Let's see this play, Shanny.
Yeah, I think it's just a high hit, right? Yeah, this cross check just slid up his shoulder.
Yep.
I don't think there was any malice in that. Now,
I think they actually called holding. So the first penalty, there were 26 seconds left on the Zachary Ryan penalty. That one will be taken off the board.
who are you going to want to take this penalty shot? Well, it looks like it's going to be maybe.
Yeah.
I guess that's not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice. I would be, I mean,
Now, do you think he
just shoots.
And
He's
he
more of
fa-
a
he-
shooter, right?
He's more of a shooter, but did he put any fakes on that? He did get one breakaway goal this game.
He did. I don't think he faked a lot. I might have been going with Ruskowski, trying to get him hot, but you're going with a hotter shooter. Maybe against Malone. Penalty shot, slow trot in.
I would have gone with
towards the net.
Ottolino.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
pretty
Nice.
sweet. I guess he's got moves too.
Yep. I was being a little facetious with Ottolino, but I think he's 2 for 2 in his breakaways.
He
but,
is. And they've looked great.
Good play by Maybe.
Yeah, it's a pretty good decision to go with Maybe.
I don't think I liked him going so slow, but he just.
I didn't love it either. And the fakes were even
Yeah,
kind
you
of
know
slow.
what? He does one big fake at the end, just a little rolls, and then one big one. And
That's
to
a
the short
great
side.
shot. So again, the 26 comes off. So there'll be 43 left on the shorter U.S. penalty and the full 2 minutes for the last
I mean,
one.
this is an important part of the game. I mean, the U.S. had pulled away again, but this is a chance for Scotland with some power plays to do something.
So 11-8, 1:45 to go in the third. And the one thing last year that I think the U.S. felt like they were going to come back, they kept battling back in the game that they wound up losing to Scotland, to the Scottish. But the Scots just wouldn't go away. Even when the U.S. came back and took a lead at the end, it kind of felt like, order has been restored. The higher seeded team, the higher
And
expected
that's
team.
often what happens,
Yeah.
right? That's often when a team plays above themselves and the so-called better team eventually takes that lead, you expect the collapse.
But the Scots turned it around last year, right? They got the goal. The first time the U.S. led in that game last year was very late. They took a 15-14
I think
lead.
you said fourth quarter, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the final
But
5
now-
minutes or so.
Now, I don't know if these guys were released, but both U.S. players came out of the penalty box.
So
and they had to
Forney
be
has
called
gone
back.
in. Ryan has gone. I don't know why Ryan went back in. He should actually be released. He's the one who had 26 seconds left. Yeah, they're going to sort that out. So who just got the most recent penalty? Was that Forney? Or was he already in? He was in, right? Because it was the 5-on-3.
Yeah, I don't
We're
remember.
talking about that. Now, looks like
I
there's still
don't
the
remember
26.
took that last
Okay.
penalty, Stamper, and to be honest, I'd have to think about to remember what day it is too.
There's a lot going on. It does
We're
get that
doing
way.
a lot of lacrosse.
It's
And
called
we're
on
loving
bounds,
it.
44. So they actually have.
Playing Benoit wrong side. Oh, boy.
Oh, baby with the shot. And they've actually left the shorter time penalty up there, which means, is he going to get, yeah, he's going to get released. So that's a bit of a break for the U.S. Down to 5-on-4, twister by Benoit. Hard shot, Ruskowski. Oh, and missed.
Boy.
That looked like it was going in. Kuzma trying to hit Ryan on the run. And that was Ottolino coming out, and he was looking very carefully to see when his teammate got into the change box. Now we're back to even strength.
Yeah.
As Forney is released. Long rip. Oh, are you kidding?
Oh boy. I glanced away for a second while that ball was in a place center floor area that
Where they're clearly
nobody's
not gonna shoot.
Nobody's going to score. Nobody's going to shoot from there. Was he even late in the shot clock? Oh my gosh. That's a long distance shot. McNamara.
Now,
That guy can shoot.
so there's 38 seconds on the game clock, which means they were probably going for a 2-for-1.
Yeah, maybe that's all it was.
Yeah, and he would have had to get that away quickly. You don't want to get down to like 5 or 6. So, yeah, I guess he's going for the 2-for-1. It goes in. Anyone who's fairly new to the box game, the 2-for-1 means between like 50 and 40 seconds, if you have possession left in a quarter, you'll sometimes take that shot, see if you can score, but if not, give the ball up then the other team will have to have a possession. You can have time at the end to set your possession up. So you get 2 chances for their one, but.
Do you think that cleared it up?
My explanation?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sebastian, everything opens up for him, but he just misses. The shot clock expires, and Bomley is racing onto that ball because he knows time will run out quickly. He's going to see, won't have time for a shot. So through 45 minutes, it's 12-8 for the United States. Stick with us. We're going to hear from Maverick Schultz, and make sure you come back for the fourth, because if there's anything we've learned from these Thistles, it's they will not give up.
I'm looking forward to competing against my little brother. You know, he's my best friend, and it's always fun, you know, have a brotherly competition and just go at it. So I'm really looking forward to that. You know, obviously it's exciting for mom and dad, you know, getting to see, you know, their 2 sons on the floor and then competing against each other, which is just always fun. Yeah, it was, I mean, last year was not ideal at all. I mean, but this year we're a completely different team. You know, we've come back stronger, bigger, faster, stronger, way more aggressive. And, you know, this year's team is just a whole new force, and we're just excited to just keep going. That's what they say, but I think tonight it's going to be with the USA. I feel like we need to just stay focused and stay constant and not get too high or too low. If we just play our game, you know, and don't let anything get to our heads, we'll win this game. No, sir, but I'm going to predict the U.S. winning.
So that was the older brother, Maverick Schultz, whose team is ahead at this point in the sibling rivalry.
They both have baby faces. Like,
I know.
Like, look at them on the floor, especially Maverick is thick, and they're both big.
Yeah,
but
they're big kids.
You know, Maverick looks like a big man out there. Now, when you see the interview, you forget how young these guys are. Well,
yeah, the Schultz family's Maverick is a 19-year-old this year. 6'4", 215 pounds he's listed at. And his younger brother, Hudson. The real baby face going, but boy, they are big kids. What's Hudson listed at? Let's take a peek.
Hudson looks tall. He's not as thick as Maverick from what it looks like on the floor.
Oh wait, I think I looked up the wrong Schultz first. Oh no, that's it. 6'4", 215.
Yeah, no, I think you had that right.
I'm going to check Hudson now.
Not used to going to 2 different teams, check on brothers.
Right. 6'6".
Oh my gosh.
So 185.
So
he's catching me up.
Yeah. Hence, he said I'm the taller one.
And 17 years old this year.
Oh yeah, so he's got some room, some time to fill out.
Wow. 6'6" at 17.
They're both from Kentucky.
They are.
Oh.
Good emerging defensive players for this U.S. program.
I do really like that Gormley guy too on defense. He's strong, reliable.
Yeah, he's really started to show out as this tournament's gone on. We've actually had a change between the pipes for the U.S. It's going to be a goal for them to take our attention away from it. Is that Katz again?
Yes, it is. Somebody's making a case for player of the game. That's Katz's 5th goal of the game. Oh my gosh. And yeah, he just beats his man. That's Nate Lewis. Now, does Nate Lewis normally play defense? Because
yeah, he's a transition player. He will play D.
Because Katz stepped around him quite easily.
Yeah. Katz had 3 goals, 2 assists last year in the game against the Thistles, and he's really stepping up today. False start by the U.S., and the Scots will get the ball. So Beck Hagan, who played yesterday very well against Canada, has come into the game, and Aiden Malone was heading down from the bench, headed down the aisle and down the tunnel toward the change room. So he was accompanied by the trainer. Hard shot by Ruskowski, picked up by Benoit. He's trying to back his way in. Now tries to flip it over to Ruskowski, who does get it. Maybe wants it up top. He's way high. So Ruskowski's going to go to Stearns in the middle. He sees maybe. He's thinking about the pass. The U.S. really sticking defensively. Stearns with a big pick. Shot to the far side. Vishu just missed. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Grabbed by Vishu. Wasn't called over and back. Must have been touched by the U.S. player. Oh, and that's going to bounce through to Ryan. Save Jaywar.
Oh, nice save by Jaywar.
Little twister pass. Here comes Carrick running the floor. Benoit moves it on. Gets away from Stearns a bit. Feels like the Scots are looking a little bit tired in this game.
And they probably should be with 14 runners out there. One of their players, I think, we're not positive who it was, but I think it was Lugo who left early. And that cross-check or slash to the head.
And it's a grind with a bunch of games. It's similar to, a President's Cup, any of these big tournaments where you're gathering. You see the guys at the World Lacrosse Box Championships, a drive to the net for Cornwell, and he is double teamed down into the crease, and Hudson Schultz will come away with it. But, that's one, again, where you play a ton of great games.
Yeah, and the President's Cup is a really good example. I mean, you're playing almost every single day. And, this is the U.S.'s third game in 3 days, and they've been running.
And they're still running. That's a save by Jaywar. He had to deny Ian Wick.
It really builds up. I think the U.S. has tomorrow off, and I think that'll be huge for them.
We talked about how important it was for the Scots to start coming back early as Ruskowski takes a rip early in this fourth quarter. And it really does, if you're feeling tired physically, there's an emotional fatigue that comes in with giving up a couple of goals to extend a lead, right?
Yeah.
Driving underneath, Katz is going to hand it off this time. Pops away from Wick. He's got Urbanski on him.
Oh,
great
nice
positioning
play by Urbanski.
That was really good.
He's had a good game.
He has. Ethan Urbanski.
I wouldn't vote for him for player of the game, but he's runner-up.
Diving attempt. Oh, maybe almost had it. He was trying to convince the ref to call it a goal, but I don't think it ever crossed the goal line. And that's a bit of an issue.
No.
Really testing Beck Hagen early in his tenure here. Again, after Aiden Malone went down to the locker room. Great open chance for Gadbois.
Oh,
Another
nice
save, Jaywar. He really is moving well. On the break, Adelino, your pick.
Oh, I like that.
Just had to hold on to the ball, but it was a great job to initiate contact with the shoulder. That is one of the longer sweat swipes I've ever seen along the length of a floor. As he glided, you can tell the speed he had going.
It's funny because talk to people that don't really know lacrosse. Doesn't it hurt when you fall down on the concrete? I go, no, you slide like it's on ice.
Yeah. You don't grab and stick like on the carpet. I like carpet, but I still think wood's the best option. The wood floor, beautiful. You hear it.
I think it sounds good and looks good. But as a player, I think it's good on your knees over a long. But I still would rather get knocked down onto the cement than any of those options.
Really, even in the wood?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Well,
Hang on, let's watch this play for a moment as it's Sebastian juking and jiving. He hands it off there. Sidearm pass from Ryan, didn't quite connect. And it looks like it's going to be Cooper Gantz just wisely just letting the shot clock expire.
Yeah, what I was going to say, the first time I played on the wood floor in New Westminster, I think I was the longtime equipment manager, was on TV before the game talking about the time he remembers an opposing player taking a long splinter in the butt. I don't think it's true, but it worked. It had a good effect on us.
Scaring the visitors.
Yep.
Landers knocks that one away. He's breaking up the floor. It's a 2-on-0 with Ryan. Landers will trail. Ryan will shoot and misses. It's going to come out to Stearns, and he'll push it the other way. Baumley's trying to run interference. Stearns a little slow getting ahead. Couldn't quite connect with maybe.
And I like the fact that, it may seem obvious, the fact that 3 U.S. players just stayed in their own end with that, 2-on-0. There's no need for everybody to run up the floor because that's what often happens, a save in one end, and if everybody's out of position, it goes back the other end.
Yeah, great point. And this is a bunch of guys, some of them have not played box lacrosse hardly at all, getting their experience as they go, and you can see the learning. Nice chance by Posick, but it is stopped. It's going to be a big battle for this Lucy. Carrick diving out to work for it. He and Sebastian going after it. Loving the game and the tournament that Mitch Carrick is having. Cooper Ganch up into the offensive zone. Kind of reminds me of Matt Gilray, the way he really runs on his toes.
Oh, yeah.
Big guy up on the balls of the feet. Chance for the Scots. No goal, crease violation. Nice try by Lewis.
Ruskowski has got to be frustrated with the way this game has gone for him. I thought that was going to be a time where he steps in to take a big shot, but he made a nice pass. It was the right play. Although maybe at this point in the game, I'm thinking if I'm him, I got to beat this goalie.
Yeah. Little slip from Gadbois. Still makes a nice pass. Gets it over to Norris. Drifts one far side over the shoulder. Beautiful pass, beautiful shot. And that's a lovely goal for the U.S. to extend the lead a bit further.
You know, from where we are, we saw how much of a beauty shot that was for Norris. And I think we're going to get the same angle here. Look, you know, it's not a great angle, but he reaches his stick up high to give himself more net and puts it in that top corner. See, just before he shoots, he brings his stick up high. That's a nice goal.
We've talked about the jump shot. We're not big fans, either of us, of the one up at the top of the formation where you just kind of jump up and shoot from downtown. But that one, that little jump gave him an extra bit of reach over the top, I think, that helped with the goal.
Yeah, oh, it did for sure.
Here's Cooper Ganch. And that's just a momentary lapse of reason.
And this is where, as you said, the emotional fatigue has set in.
The U.S., 8.5 minutes.
There comes a point, well, you might not want to admit it, but where the team realizes, okay, we're down 6. It's not happening tonight.
Well, the Thistles coaches are yelling, wake up.
Oh,
They're not
I heard
prepared.
that. Wake up.
Repeatedly, right?
They added a few colorful words into that
We
wake
just
up.
leave the adjectives out. A hit the official. It's a break for Katz. He passes it across to Sebastian, who's going to spin. Pretty good work there by Urbanski. Hudson Schultz with an effective defensive stand. All over Ian Wick. Posick is up at center again, and sometimes if they're locking you off, that's a play to just go out there.
Yeah.
Just make some space down below for a 4-on-4. Driving to the net, Sebastian.
Oh, almost made it.
Went through the crease, so he can't go and play it, so he'll just head to the bench. Carrick will make the pass out. Here comes Schultz.
You're right. That's a strategy some teams do. If they want to cover you tight, they want to lock on, bring the defender right out of the play. Let him play 4-on-4.
Lewis trying to take advantage of the pick. Bounds played it well defensively. He and Forney, a nice job over there. Here's Maybe. That's right into the chin of Beck Hagan, who's come in for Aiden Malone. Braden Kuzma leaves it there. Kind of looked like they were trying to set up for a hidden ball trick, but they didn't apply it at all. Posick, shovel pass. Spinning, shooting. And taking a pounding there was Ian Wick. He'll head off the bench. You know, Posick's 10 points yesterday. It was his 7th IIJL World Juniors game. And he scored at least 3 points in every game, at least 2 goals. There's a rip and a goal. What on earth?
Is that Maybe
That's Austin
again?
Maybe. I think, like the rest of us, he thought things were just kind of slowly getting going. They're just going to start it. And he said, I'm going to shoot and score.
And as you mentioned this earlier, like he's on the wrong side of the floor and no hesitation to shoot anyhow. What a nice shot.
Yeah, they're just not covering. The U.S. is a bit slack about it, and
Well,
maybe makes him pay.
I think you're right. I think the U.S. is thinking, okay, well, they're going to set up. He's going to wait for his teammates.
So it's 14-9. And the goal is you're going for some water.
And if
But yeah, I was saying, you what were we talking about? It was a really important point. It was interesting. I'm sure it was.
That's
Shahab, do you remember what he was talking about?
No,
Yeah.
but I know that's maybe his 5th goal.
It is. The 4th was the penalty shot?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Oh, good for him. What a game. Stay with us. Post-game, we will have the handshakes. We'll have our players of the game, one from each team, recognized.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the stats here, and they got Cats for 3 goals, 2 assists. But remember, they gave the second goal of the game. They gave it to Posick. So he's definitely got 4 and 2.
You just said it was 5, though.
Did I say? Yeah, I've got it marked down as 5. But let me go through. I think I might have been wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got 5.
There you go.
The official stats don't have 5, but I've been better than them through most of this tournament. Yeah, that's a fact.
That's the pen and paper working for you.
Yeah.
Here's Posick. Oh, that reminds me. Takes a big bump from Adelino, passes it in behind. Reverse whip, nice attempt there by.
Yeah, that's a good,
a
very good attempt. A couple seconds left on the shot clock. Those are not easy for a goalie to save because it's like the backhand in hockey. You don't know where it's coming from.
Posick goes back for a defensive shift. I was going to say it's his 7th World Juniors game. He scored at least 3 points in every one as Ruskowski's trying to get some off the crossbar. Now Posick's going to go for a run. But the 10 last night was his most, but in 5 of his 7 games, he has scored at least 4 points and at least 2 goals. He's been very consistent in his 2 years here at the event. Erie, Pennsylvania last year, and now here in lovely Kingston. And he's trying to get his first goal of the game, almost rolled it up on Jay Warren.
I'm just looking at the stats for him. They've given him 2 goals, so I think they gave him 2 of Katz's goals, but that's what happens when Katz doesn't wear a sweater properly. Right?
It's his own fault.
Yeah. But, yeah, Posick just has 1 assist in this game, but don't forget, Scotland is locking him off most of the time.
Yeah, trying to pick their poison and let the others go, and the others have been doing it. Great wide open look. Stearns, what a stop by Beck Hagen. Outlet pass is going to go awry. Adelino will double clutch, but get it. Here's Carrick.
Okay, maybe he was down, and I don't know if somebody knocked him down or if he slipped, but Stern doesn't look happy about it. There's some conversations going on down there.
Yeah, Stearns and Landers are chatting in front and jousting a little bit. It's picked off there. Here comes Cornwell.
Oh, boy. Stern just took his biggest hit of the game, and it came from his teammate, maybe.
And a goal at the other end.
That was McNamara.
Yeah. And the one thing for the Scots, I mean, last year, the Scots, that win really propelled them to the gold medal game. But it's a bit different this year because there is the round robin and then the semis. So they need to keep their wits about them.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, that's a nice goal by McNamara. But as I was saying, Stern and Landers were going at it a bit. And it was maybe, who gave his teammate a shove. Is like, don't be getting into a fight.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
well, they need him. Like I said, you got to tell Stearns.
Like this one is over. I know you don't like to say it's over when there's 4 minutes to go, but it is over. So we'll get another chance. They'll hope to get another chance against them.
Here's Carrick on the run. He's got Benoit setting a seal for him. Oh, that's a pretty nice shot. Goes off the far post. Just off the edge of Hagen. Scooped up there. And Forney will flip it ahead. That was Jack Silva running it ahead. Nice hustle by Silva over to the bench. They're going to come up to the top to Katz, the hot hand. 5 goals on the night. Sebastian trying to bull his way through. Well stood up there by Urbanski. They go backdoor, sliding save by Jaywar. Denying Ian Wick, and there's Bomley again with some tough coverage, and Katz is trying to just pry him off and can't do it. Great help from Ganch.
See, I don't think if you're on offense, you should be able to push a defender away from a guy that he's checking.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pick. Not allowed to do it when you're just out standing there.
Nope.
Oh, that pass well away from Ruskowski. But it will bounce around, be grabbed by Maybe. He'll spin, pops back up. Ruskowski thought about letting that rip, but it was knocked out of his stick. It pops out again. He's going to try and chase and check, and you can see the frustration there.
Absolutely.
Ryan waiting for a pass. It won't come, but it will come as a rebound, and he'll rip one. That one's wide, and he almost hit Jack Cornwell as a retaliation for not passing him the ball. Here's Carrick.
Yeah. Penalty for the U.S. behind the play, but they got, oh yeah.
It's a slashing call. It's going to be Zachary Ryan going to the box. 15-9 with 2:16 to play. Got another matchup tonight, Canada and Australia at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live here on the IIJL YouTube channel.
And we're getting a second penalty here too, I believe. Landers, who
delay a game.
I don't think he makes any friends out on the floor.
No, not with the other team.
No, no.
His teammates love him.
Yeah. Remember yesterday he took the stick got stuck in his helmet?
Yes, and he just walked off.
He walked off the floor with an extra stick in his helmet.
That's a classic. 5-on-3, and Maybe trying to be very casual, almost put it in, but Hagen gets a shoulder on it. Ruskowski backdoor to Maybe. He has to spin to get control of it. Vishu, good movement. Benoit's shot bounces up into the chest of Hagen. He's there to set a pick. Is it Hagen that's been setting all the big picks?
Yeah. All the moving picks. That's got to be, oh gosh, that's tense. Oh, he called a penalty on that.
Gormson will go, and that's going to be a penalty shot again because they had the two before.
Yeah. He gloved the ball, but it's not because he gloved the ball he got a penalty. I think he got a penalty because the referee blew the whistle because he didn't get over half within 10. He didn't like that he pushed the ball away.
Dead ball contact.
Exactly.
So another penalty shot to go with Maybe again. Well, we know the answer because he's right there on camera.
Yeah, they will. Different goaltender though this time.
That's true.
Last time it was on Malone.
That's true.
Maybe has a chance to get his 6th of the game. Cement that player of the game for Scotland.
I feel like it's already pretty solid for him,
Yeah,
but we'll
yeah.
see. Let's see how quickly he comes in. He went very slowly last time.
I'd go with what you
just
did
about as
last
slowly
time. I
this
would just
time.
love it if he sprinted in. Just
Yeah.
something different.
Couple of fakes.
Oh,
opposite side. Beautiful finish.
You know what? I was thinking you can't go to that same corner because
No.
they know.
But you can go reverse psychology on him and fake
you
to that
think-
corner, then
oh,
go
yeah,
somewhere
I
else, but
love
then
it.
come back
Then
to
you
the
start
corner.
second guessing. You're
Yep.
second guessing. But I actually thought he stepped in the crease. But let's have a look here. No, I think he
he's
jumped.
good.
Yeah, he jumped.
Sock
But-
trick for Austin, Maybe.
It almost looks like Hagen is saying, "Okay, I saw what you did last time.
Yeah, I'm taking
Yeah,
that corner
I'm-
away.
I'm taking it away."
It looks pretty easy when the goalie bites on that hard fake. It looks so easy for players of that skill level, like
Yeah.
Maybe. It's really not. I swear it's not that easy. Maybe lets another one rip. Down to the final minute and a half. Well, we're going to have about 50 minutes plus until the next game, which will be Canada-Australia. Vishu lets one rip. Had Hagen leaning the wrong way, but it was wide of the net. Hagen's got it. He's trying to direct traffic with his head. Now the long lob pass. All the way down to J-War. He'll fling it ahead. And the 5-on-3 continues for the Thistles. Maybe the most lethargic 5-on-3 I've ever seen.
This guy a goal. Rosowski's got to get a goal.
Oh, Maybe almost had the 7th. Nice hustle by Vishu to get it back. There's Ruskowski. Big hit by Forney on Maybe.
It almost looks like at this point Rosowski's decided he's not scoring. Oh, that's a nice goal. Oh my, Maybe's hurt. And
Also partly tired, but Vishu gets one.
And Vishu's had a number of shots all from about that same spot. I really hope that maybe he's all right. If not all right to finish this game, I wouldn't put him back on. But
it's a hard rip going back against the grain. We'll give him maybe a hand up.
You know, I hope a lot of it is that he's just exhausted at this point. He did take a little bit too much punishment for like a 5-on-3.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't be getting beat up on a 5-on-3.
Yeah, it's hard for the triangle to get out and be on people. So 45 seconds to go as Bomley and Forney will line up for this face-off. I don't think we've seen Carson Forney taking a lot of draws so far in this tournament. He's going to get possession, though, as Bomley jumped a little early. Forney will lob it across to the near side. And Braden Kuzma out there for an offensive shift to kill this penalty. Here's McNamara. Fights by Hudson Schultz, gets a nice bump from Carrick.
You don't want to give him a chance.
No.
I mean, this is your chance to pound him if he wants to go to the net. I don't mean to be mean, but
yeah, make him pay if he wants to get inside.
You're hoping that McNamara is hurting by the time you see him next game.
And the U.S. are in no rush. They're not going to take another shot here. The Scots will let them allow the clock to tick away.
Wise thing to do.
It's going to be a 15-11 final, and the U.S. will clinch first place in round robin play. The Scots will fall to 1-1 after they beat Australia yesterday. So Canada playing Australia tonight. If the Canadians win, that would put Australia at 0-3, so we would have our finals matchup set. So if Canada wins tonight, then for sure we're seeing Scotland-Canada again in the semi on Thursday.
And so Scotland-Canada tomorrow. How hard do they want to play against Canada, especially if they know they're going to play them likely the next day?
Yeah, I mean, we wait and see how it goes with Canada-Australia, but obviously the Canadians
we are
heavy
getting ahead of
favorites.
ourselves a little bit. But Canada, heavy favorite against Australia.
IIJL President Chris Fox is down on the floor. He will present the Player of the Game awards. You're all over Austin Maybe for the Scots.
Yes.
I think that's fair. And on the other side, Cats had himself a game.
Raphael Katz. I think
that's who we're
he's gotta
betting.
Win it. Yeah. I mean, McNamara had a good game too.
Yeah.
But now the thing is, we said the official scorers took away 2 of Katz's goals.
So far.
Yeah, we'll get that fixed. I'm sure they will.
So it's Raphael Katz.
I think they called him.
Yep, that's a good call. He's going to go out and enjoy his award. And on the other side, Austin Maybe, good call. So the final is 15-11. We are going to hear the Stars and Stripes one more time in round robin play, and the U.S. certainly hoping it will be repeating after the semis and the finals. So the U.S. closes out round robin play undefeated. They will move on to the semifinal as the 1 seed. Looking likely to play Australia. The Scots have Canada tomorrow and probably again the day after that. A little wrap up for this one, Shanny.
Well, I thought it was a pretty good game. I mean, the Scots got into a hole, down 5-0. They came back, made it a 1-goal game. The U.S. did what they had to do in the second half to create a 4 or 5 goal lead. And the Scots, they never gave up. I mean, they had some great games by a lot of guys. And if you think about it, what final was 15-11 to this U.S. team that beat Canada 18-12. So that's a pretty impressive game by the Scots. What did we get? 6 goals by maybe. Rosowski couldn't do much today. No. From the U.S., Katz had a fantastic game. I think we got 5 goals for him, 3 or 4 for McNamara. So great game, but Canada, I know Canada's playing Australia very soon, but they'll also have their hands full tomorrow against Scotland.
And that next game will be coming at 8 p.m. Eastern Time from the Slush Puppie Center in Kingston, Canada's original capital on Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to all who observe. Thanks for being with us. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Shanahan, and this is the IIJL World Juniors.